Okay, Aaron. So, my favorite Mexican place finally reopened after, I want to say, uh, 2 years. So, now is the time to celebrate. And what better way to celebrate than with trans rights? I Want to Be Your Girl by Umi Takase is a high school shojo manga about two girls who are childhood friends, and the main girl, Hime, which means princess, so it's a bit of an ironic name, is aggressively protective of her best friend Akira, who is going to school as a girl for the first time in her whole life. And this is obviously coming with challenges. Now, what I especially like about the series is that we don't see a lot of trans series from the perspective of somebody who doesn't pass. And I really like seeing that perspective of somebody who is out, but not able to fly under the radar, and how they deal with that and how that is affecting them mental health wise and socially. Now, it mainly focuses on Hime, who may or may not be in love with her best friend and is also coming to terms with the possibility that she's a lesbian, because she 100% thinks of Akira as a girl and does not see her as anything otherwise. So it's not one of those ones where it's like, oh, I wanted to have a crush on him, but it turns out he's a girl. No, she was actually happy when Akira first came out to her. She was so happy that Akira was a girl, and she couldn't quite place why, but it might be starting to come more clear. What I like about this so far is that it seems to be taking a realistic but not aggressive perspective of transphobia and homophobia. Akira has to deal with a lot of bullying, a lot of misgendering, but a lot of it is coming from a place of well-meaning ignorance. Like, there are teachers who will say, "Oh, it's the new girl," and it's all very awkward and clunky, but it's very obvious that they see Akira differently. And Hime takes it upon herself to become Akira's protector and start wearing the boys' uniform to divert attention from her, and eventually starts to wrestle with her own feelings, not just of having a crush on a girl, but of feeling like Akira is growing apart from her, of wanting to be the only person that Akira needs and knowing that that's not a possibility anymore. Akira starts to befriend some other girls in the class and starts to develop a crush on a boy who is nice to her, and Hime is feeling really left out, and she tends to be really aggressive with how protective she is. So she has to start questioning herself of, when am I going too far and making things harder for her? And when is it my place to step in? And I like that there is also internal conflict between them, partially because of this. Like, at one point, Hime starts wearing the girls' uniform again because her parents point out, like, hey, if you're doing this for Akira, you have to think, okay, at what point does she want me to keep doing this? Does she want me to... Her parent comes to the uniform, her parents ask her, okay, but is this something that you feel like you have to do? Is this something Akira feels better about you doing, or would it be better if you went back to things being status quo so that she felt more normal? And when she does decide to try wearing the girls' uniform again, it doesn't go great, because Akira, she seems kind of triggered by it. It's not either of their faults. Akira is kind of forced to deal with the fact that Hime can just turn off her ostracization. She can just decide not to wear the boys' uniform and people won't look at her weird anymore. But Akira is always going to be is always going to be an outsider to these people. She is always going to be a trans girl. She is always going to be different from the other kids. And that makes her lash out at Hime. And I do like, for as cutesy and sweet and wholesome as Akira is, mostly because we're seeing her through Hime's eyes, I like that she has that emotional complexity. We get other characters too. They are also a bit counterculture, out of place in their school, and they give Hime and Akira somebody to learn from and start to be safe with. Now, one of the girls can especially relate because she has a history of dealing with homophobia and ostracization. And she's, much like Hime, decided, like, okay, if they're going to put a target on my back anyway, I might as well make it easier for them. And that's makes her change her whole style, make herself stand out more, and she's learned to accept it. I apologize for the sound quality. It is very echoey in here. I will say I Want to Be Your Girl pulls some of the similar things that other manga have done in the past, but not to the same degree. You know what I'm talking about. They did it in Blue Flag, they did it in Boys Run the Riot, where the cishet person angrily tells their closeted friend, well, if you just explained it to me, maybe I'd get it. Like, well, how dare you not come out to me because I might react badly. This does that to a degree, but it sort of tempers it. It has more of the attitude of, people might react badly at first, but give them time and they might surprise you. Like, some of the classmates are immediately hostile to Akira, but other girls a couple days later are like, okay, yeah, we're kind of okay with it now. They're not 100% trans allies or anything, but no one's calling her the wrong pronouns. They're talking to her face like she's a girl. And it's more, the lesson is not, you should come out to people because how dare you assume I'm a bigot, and more, people might surprise you. I like that they have that balance of, you can try to explain it to people and it might actually help sometimes, rather than, how dare you not explain it to me. The way Hime is, it's also hinting that she might have gender non-conforming tendencies. She might end up being what we might describe as butch, but for now, she's not feeling super strongly one way or the other, so I'm interested to see where it's going with that. I've only read the first 2 volumes, and it seems like there's some love triangle stuff with Akira getting a crush on one of the boys, but I don't think that's going to be a major plot line. It seems like it's going to get brushed past in favor of the girls' relationships with each other. Not just the main 2 girls, but the group of friends that they're starting to form with the other counterculture girls in their class. Not being trans femme myself, I can't get a super informed perspective on it, but compared to other transmedia and queer manga in particular, I think you would really like this if you gave it a shot. It's not perfect, but it is a perspective I don't get to see that much, and I really like how it's playing out so far, for the most part. Okay, so now I'm gonna finally eat my Mexican food.